live for another WPAT live session, London time.
London live session. That's correct. London time. London time. Yeah.
London market opening.
We gotta change the time to London. Thanks for the reminder. Well, you could go ahead and do what you need while I change the time.
So what I need is to tell the disclaimer: Forex and derivatives are traded on margin. Margin carries a significant amount of risk, so only invest the money you're willing to risk. And then everything we say here is for educational purposes. Even if we do end up placing new orders, just let this be a warning that don't do this on your real accounts. If you wanna follow us, follow whatever we're doing, do on your demos only.
All right. Well, here at London session, which is the second day of the week, obviously we already have something very exciting that's going on, right? Basically, the COP27, okay, where everyone's going to talk about the environmental impacts and how to change for renewable energy.
Do they fly by planes or do they use renewable energy to go to there?
I see. Someone's being very feisty here. All right. Look, until they come up with a Tesla airplane.
Oh, they're making like a drone.
Then
right?
we should be fine.
Yeah, like the drone you can actually fly.
But yeah, you were right. By accident, they had to fly by plane.
Noted.
Yeah. All right. So that's going on. Basically, I'm sure that Rishi, UK's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, and also are very closely partnering with the French president on actually finding out how to improve on renewable energy. So that's something exciting to take a look at, despite the fact that apparently the FCA is cracking down on greenwashing. So you can't be promoting, this is green, this is good for the environment. You apparently can't do that. So.
Yeah, because a lot of the things become too scammy, like, not really scammy, but it's like, you don't really know if this is, is it carbon neutral or they just plant a tree and saying they're gonna be good for the environment, right? And then people are abusing this as a marketing tool. So then I do agree that they need to be more strict, but then I do think they should still continue allowing the companies after the audit to continue saying, hey, we are a green company, because this is what the consumers want, right?
Well, tell you guys what. If you guys want to help the environment and actually go green for your financial investments, there's two options. I'm going to reveal them. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, crypto people, you guys are going to love this because crypto is the way to go. Second, okay, for fiat currencies and trading, Forex trading is the way to go, right? Don't go to your banks and change for actual physical currency, right? Driving there takes a lot of energy. Okay, printing dollar bills or printing money takes a lot of energy. So actually trading online is the best option.
And even like for the coins, I think you spend more money making a coin than what that single coin is worth, right?
Exactly. So for our plug today, real quick, right? And even shopping can be made much more easily, okay? Thanks to actually our sponsor for today's program. Very quick. All right, Moga. Thank you for actually, providing the Moga Reward Mall, okay? Where actually, if you are trading in their broker, whether you make a deposit or you start trading, basically you get to earn Moga points. Now, these points are actually redeemable. They're automatic. You do not have to write to them to actually get these points, okay? So it's unlike other places. This is like a loyalty program, right? Where you just trade and just trade and just trade, and you could get points. Now, these points can be redeemed for goods, whether be it trading money, okay, or actually products where you can actually get shipped right to your doorstep, so you can actually go green without having to drive it out and get your luxury goods.
That was a good segue.
So anyways, back to I guess the news today, right? So here, take it away, Achille. What do you have to share for today?
The first thing I saw, like talking not really on the London session, but more on the Asian session, it feels that the Asian countries did fight back a little bit. Like yesterday we said that they were losing strength against the dollar. today it seems like they did get a little bit of the strength back, except for China, right? China is still on a lot of uncertainty on like economical and political spectrum. So then a lot of people, like everything that's uncertain, most traders they'll be away from it. Of course, the more risk takers they'll jump on board because that's where you can make like a lot of quick money. But then that's also where the risk is. So I do believe for the like I was saying, right, the other currencies like the Japanese yen, for example, it did get stronger a little bit, and then it also matches with the dollar being like the U.S. economy a little bit on a waiting period, like because of the elections that's gonna be tonight, right? Or like today if you're in the U.S.
Yeah.
And so it feels that the market is a lot of just waiting to see what happens. Like I feel like people that are already on the market, they're just gonna keep the orders there, and then people that were to enter or were to close these orders, then they're just like, no, wait, let me see what happens on the election first, and then I'll take my action on it.
That is correct. All right, so basically, just to elongate from Machilio's point of view, basically you see the midterm elections are actually happening, right? And as we were talking about, because of the elections that are going on, most likely they're going to be pumping the US dollar. So as you can actually see right over here on Bloomberg, right, the dollar actually rises, and obviously the stocks are quite mixed right now. Obviously for the Asian session, you will see that the Nikkei is actually starting in the greens, or should I say red for Asian stock exchanges. But the green means good, meaning it's actually up, right? It's opened the day with a strong start. Okay, and that's good. It was better than yesterday. That's what it means. Okay, obviously for like S&P 500, right, Dow Jones, all of this is opening up in the green. So this is quite good, right? Which means it's a strong US dollar is actually there, is very prominent. Okay, but of course, during the midterm elections are occurring, right after that, we will be able to see some mixed feelings regards to the market.
Yeah, and then a lot of the new traders will be entering as the elections happen. So I do expect it to be, let's say, interesting. Like the charts will jump a lot.
All right, and then also one big thing that everyone should actually be taking a look at, right? Big tech companies. We've been talking about this on all of our live streams, okay? Basically, I believe Twitter is yet to make some big moves. Their first big moves is actually just to revamp the whole team, okay, by getting rid or laying off certain people that may not be a key player in the team anymore, okay. But of course, Elon Musk does have some plans for Twitter, okay. Now, for the long term, Twitter is gonna start actually revamping its image. It's not gonna be a location for just random advertising. Okay, so basically, advertising robots or spam robots and stuff like that are slowly going to be canned out. So that's something for everyone to keep an eye on. There may be two very opposing views towards Twitter's approach on this, right? Because you're going to see a lot of loss in accounts, okay? But then yet you will have a lot of credible accounts that are left there. So
and then a lot of people that abandon the platform for different political views are deciding to go back as well. So I do feel that on the long run it's still like positive for Twitter itself on the user side of it.
Yep. All right, and then just a little bit more, okay, basically based on big tech companies. Meta as well, still starting off their layoffs, okay, this week. So a lot of more, should I say, movement in the workforce will occur, okay. So anyways, this is something that everyone should take a look at. Basically for big tech, everyone's eyeing in on Alphabet and Google, but I would highly recommend people just to take a look at Twitter and also on Meta to be able to have a good view on how the big tech companies are actually going to be approaching the coming year, okay. And due to that, Meta and also Twitter, they have a close relationship to crypto. So how crypto moves can be a good resemblance of how our fiat US dollar currency will move in comparison with gold as well. So keep an eye on big tech for these few reasons.
And then speaking of tech, we also have the news that the chip the chip demand,
microchips
microchips demand were a little bit low on the beginning of this month. So then Taiwan was a little bit worried about it. I saw a news today saying how Nintendo is actually predicting that they'll produce less of their console, the Switch, because of this, to accommodate that. So then it's also another point where people will companies will be looking like, okay, if it's not Taiwan producing these microchips, then who's gonna be? Is it gonna be China? Like, where do we go from here? So I do feel that a lot of the marketing in general for this specific week is more like, what's gonna happen? How can I react to it? And not much of let me enter because I'm certain this is the direction. It's just a lot of waiting for others.
I agree. All right. Now, one more thing where everyone should actually take a look at, right? Basically, bank, right? The banks. Oh, it's not here. Sorry. I'm not too sure where, but you know what? Forget about me searching for it. But basically, UBS. Very exciting. Okay. Basically, as we already know, the Credit Suisse, right? One of the biggest banks, investment banking out there, right? They're going to be changing into something else, into more like wealth management now. Okay, and actually now UBS is taking a lot of their talent. Okay, so UBS is actually grabbing certain talents from Credit Suisse and putting them into their headquarters in Singapore. So some major changes and shifts and movements of credit, should I say, financial power in banks.
And it does seem that the focus is shifting a lot from Europe to Asia in general as well on the financial side of it, right? It felt that it was Dubai first, and then now we're looking more in the Southeast Asia for the money to go, the opportunities, right?
Yeah. All right. So as they're very closely related to fiat currencies and Forex, obviously we're going to quickly take a look at what is in the market now. Okay, basically all of the currencies technically are very mixed. Okay, we will look into that in a little bit. But now let's see, what are some of the news that we have to watch out for today? Well, technically speaking, there are some retail data that's going to be coming up, okay, for Europe. And let's quickly take a look. Any exciting news? Well, unemployment rate for South Korea, and then bank lending ratio, or their data year over year for Bank of Japan. This, I believe, will actually cause some major movements in the market. Okay, yeah. So keep an eye on the Japanese news for tonight for all of you guys in the UK session. Okay, for tonight at 11 o'clock p.m. All right. So with that being said, we should keep a close eye on the midterm elections, as that will justify the strength of the US dollar. So why don't we actually just jump on board and start doing our analysis? Okay. So for the UK session, we should actually take a look at GBP USD first, if I could find it. Oh, it's there. All right, perfect. So same thing, we're going to do D1, right? It actually opened up with a bear momentum, okay? So obviously, is this a very strong trend that it's going to go bearish? No, not really, okay? Overall, our trend is still very bullish, okay? Yeah, and obviously we're just closing off a potential triangle here, okay? If anything, we could still deem this as a ascending triangle, okay? So usually ascending triangles, what they will expect is this. They're going to reach this ascending point, and then what's going to happen is then it's going to break below, okay? That's what a lot of people are expecting for ascending triangles, okay? So keep an eye on the D1 movements.
And then as a tip, if you're still believing on the bull market on this case, wait for the first candle being opened after the resistance, right? Don't do as it touches, because it could just be testing and then you just have like a long week at the end of the day. So wait for the first candle that opens after the resistance. That's the signal to continue going up.
Well, with H4 now on the GBP USD, we are a bit more obvious, right? Where there's actually two dojis that has appeared. Most people will be stating that this could be a tweezer top, okay? obviously on two bear candles. But if anything, you could look at it. This could actually be deemed as more bearish harami, right over here. Okay, so technically speaking, a bear momentum shall actually occur. And as we already see from the short-term moving average, it has actually crossed below the mid-term moving average, and then it targets to go below the long-term moving average. Obviously, with the RSI reaching a peak and then it's starting to drop, obviously will start to indicate the fact that potential bearish movements will happen, at least for today. Now let's drop it down more on H1. H1's overall momentum is a bearish movement. Okay.
The price crossed it below the fast moving average as well.
Yes. Now, what are we expecting here? Do we see any candles? Well, yeah, you actually do see evening star that has occurred. So then to respect that, they may be moving downwards. Okay, on a bearish momentum.
It does feel in the short term it will drop, but then on D1 it still feels like it might go up.
Yes. Well, for now, obviously, the bearish trend right now does seem like it's weakened. So based on H1, there could be some different changes in the market. Okay, but is there any prominent, message that we do see here? Not really, because all of this is actually trading right at 50. So I believe there's a lot of traders that are going to be taking a look at if RSI will go below 50. And if it does go below 50, then obviously a lot of people may start selling. But I believe this is just a pullback session. Okay, so overall potential movement for it to pull back up may be there, okay, for at least the London session. Okay, obviously for the New York session, I would believe it will be a different story. All right, so any trading opportunities here? To be really honest with you, I don't see it. Okay, I don't really see too much trading opportunities here. Okay,
Too mixed, right?
Yep, it's too mixed. All right, and Euro USD D1. Obviously, we do have a bullish engulfing, right? That has occurred. Bullish engulfing occurred, and based on our trades yesterday, we did place a sell order, right? Now, obviously, RSI is trading above 50, indication of a bullish momentum, but obviously today the market opened up with bear movements as well. Okay, all in the red for now for Euro USD. You also do see the same pattern occurring on the H4. Euro USD has the same bearish harami. So overall, there should be some selling momentum. Okay, so it does seem like RSI has reached a peak, so it will be dropping. So obviously, based on the RSI, the trend is quite strong. So we should be expecting a more bearish movement on the Euro USD. Okay. All right, so yeah, we will stick with this trade. We will hold on to the sell, and hopefully it turns out to be profitable. Okay, and then on H1,
the price crossing below the fast moving average as well.
Yeah, exactly. So price movement starting to target the prices, the moving averages. So indication of a reversal potentially occurring. Okay. Obviously, the RSI is now just leaving basically the overbought zone. Okay, so potential more bearish movements will occur as we see over here. So this is something that we should be able to be quite confident with. So we will be sticking with basically our trade that we did yesterday. All right, so then the last pair that we will be taking a look at today, let's take a look at EURJPY. Same thing on the D1. All right, for D1, the Japanese yen pair with the euro, it did open up with more bold movements, okay? It opened up in the greens, so this is good, right? Overall, trend is still very bullish, okay? And RSI is all trading above 50.
Yeah, and then we had the first candle opening above the moving average.
Yes. All right, and then obviously, what do we see here? Well, that's already passed, right? The divergence has already passed, so it's bearish already, but now it's on the bull moves. Okay. All right, so then H4, what do we see? We see a lot of buyers and sellers are trying to fight each other, but it seems like buyers are prevailing in this market.
The candles is bigger, like engulfings.
Yeah, and the strength, basically the stochastics is indicating a very prominent trend, bullish. Okay, while The RSI is trading fully above 50, indications of a good momentum on the trend or strength on the trend. So right now we can be quite confident that it is quite bullish for the Euro JPY. All right, so since we are quite confident on the bullishness of Euro JPY, we will be jumping on into the trade. One more note. Whatever we do here is purely for fun, right? It's for educational purposes and for entertainment. Whatever we do here is not financial advice. So if you do want to place the same trades, do your own analysis and place it at your own risk. All right, we'll be entering into a buy order. Obviously, we will be pulling out our stop loss over here, and we will leave our take profit open. As we can see, based on D1, this is very prominent bull movement.
Even with the retraction, still feels that on the long run will continue going up.
Yeah, exactly. Now I have faith in our European session today that we will keep on pushing Euro up a little bit more. All right, I guess that concludes our session today.
Okay, then we'll see you guys on the New York session.
Yep.
And until next time.